Sorry about that. Welcome to Game 2 between Wings of Freedom and the Muffin Stuffers of the Saskatchewan Log League. I am with Dunk Daly this time. White Pikmin had to leave, so it's just us.
Yeah, that's it was a pretty good game last game actually. Quick 22 minutes stomped by the Muffin Stuffers. Not really expected by either you or White Pikmin, but like I said, the Muffin Stuffers just had to get the Cosmic Circle going, and that was it.
Yeah, that definitely happened that time. And sorry about the smaller screen. My recording software is just messing up. We'll just have to live with it for now. And Pure Hugeness did draw a Kazakhstan for this game, so that definitely worked out good for him.
Yeah, if they didn't ban the Kazakhs, I would be very surprised because they didn't play very well against it, and at the same time, it's just a strong ban. You might as well keep them out of there if you can.
Yeah, and other band champions, Syndra and Nasus. Not really too sure why Syndra. I don't think Ashwin plays Syndra.
Ashwin's he's played one or two games.
Okay. I don't know, but like overall, the Muffin Stuffers banned 3 widely contested picks. Like, you're not a mid laner if you can't play Ziggs and Gragas. So
Yeah, pretty much. That's how this meta is. It's, specifically for the heavy instant damage casters.
that burst. And Ashwin is going Cat here, so that'll be the exact same problem of Kazakhs. If they cannot shut her down early, and she gets a few early kills, she will just decimate Wings of Freedom. Pretty much the same way Kazakhs did in the last game.
Yeah, the Kazakhs really last game was jump in, kill someone, jump even deeper, kill someone, jump even deeper and get away. That was all it really was. It's obviously like a typical playstyle for Kazakhs, but he was 8-1 by I believe it was like the 11 or 14 minute mark, something like that. And yeah, there was no chance for Wings of Freedom to come back. It was too big of a deficit.
Oh, for sure there. And Harablo picking up Elise in the jungle this time against Pure Hugeness's Vi. We'll have to see how that works out. If you can play Elise well, she's definitely like the top tier jungler at this point.
Oh yeah.
Just immense amount of damage. Easy to jungle with, easy to gank. You can do anything. Like, you can even solo dragon if you can manage your spiderlings properly.
Oh, Elise is just one of those champions. But this is I'm not going to say it's a really different lineup that we're seeing out of Wings of Freedom, but it's kind of like an all-over comp when you look at it. You have your 3 main stuns there. You have your Elise stun, your Brand stun, and your Renekton stun.
Mm-hmm.
But there's only really one person who can do lots of AoE damage. Like Jinx can do some if the team's grouped up, but it doesn't look like the Muffin Stuffers are going to be very grouped up. They're always going to be spread out and pretty much just trying to peel off for the Katarina. But like Brand, it's going to be a big focus for him to get fed. If he doesn't get fed this game, I think they're going to have a really hard time of actually keeping up in the game. Because really, if Brand falls behind early, he's screwed. It's simple as that.
For sure. And the Garen pick out of Shadi Shinto, I really don't like that. Garen does pretty much nothing.
No, go ham, man. Go ham. I mean,
like, he can silence somebody, but it's not even going to matter for anybody on Wings of Freedom at this point.
I think the whole point of picking the Garen was to really just silence him. That's exactly it. They want him to run in there, get a lot of focus onto him, and I'm assuming he's either going to silence the hell out of Brand or he's going to silence the hell out of Jinx. Because either of those two are silenced. I mean, Jinx isn't like a super caster for an AD, but she needs to swap her Q all the time, and at the same time, she needs to be able to cast that zap. So
I feel like if he could get a zap, or sorry, silence on the Hilo, like at a key moment, when Hilo would want to like cast his ult or something, because they did happen to group up, he could really win that team fight, especially if he just blind furies, runs at Hilo, and uses everything on him. He might actually be able to nuke him down if he built enough damage.
yeah, and it's going to be interesting on how Brand uses his passive this game, because people don't know the way that Brand works with all of his abilities. Each ability can be set off by his passive. Each ability sets off his passive, and yeah, again, just something cool happens each time you already have your passive on to an enemy. And if he decides to go for the heavy damage, he's going to be making sure that he lands off a conflagration and then a pillar of flame onto somebody, and that will just nuke the hell out of someone. But you can also go for the stun procs, or you can go for the entire AoE and kind of try and burn the entire team down.
For sure. I feel like he will have an easy time against Cat.
Yeah, most likely. Like, unless this cat is an absolute god and just knows how to play against Brand really well, which wouldn't really surprise me. I mean, you don't really see many people pick the cat pick unless they know what they're doing. So, yeah, it'd be a really interesting lane to see how it plays out.
Yeah, and like the good thing about Brand is that 3 of his abilities are targeted. So even with Cat like jumping behind him, it's not gonna matter because he can just target his abilities. The only thing he's gonna miss Pillar of Flame, which does pretty much the most amount of damage, but he can get that stun anyways, so he can just disrupt Cat ult.
Yeah, like it's really gonna actually depend on the positioning of TMS. TMS can position themselves really well and really get everybody away from the Katarina, or just like around the Katarina ult. Then they are going to do some damage. They have a really strong kind of AoE carry comp. They have the Vi lockdown, the Leona lockdown, and just a lot of peel coming out from them for Sivir and Katarina. Whereas with Wings of Freedom, they have a little bit of peel in there. Like, Elise isn't really the greatest appeal for people. You have a single stun, and that's it. But the Renekton, depending on how he plays, if he wants to go deep, probably won't have the greatest time getting onto Sivir, probably won't have the greatest time getting onto Katarina. And like Thresh would be the only other person that I'd imagine would be able to actually do a real good engage or counter engage for Wings of Freedom.
Yeah, with the Spell Shield 2, Renekton would have a very hard time jumping onto Sivir, just Spell Shield the stun. Same thing for Elise. Spell Shield, and another pause.
No. Well, I mean, this time it's both ADs, so.
Hopefully, it won't be another 30 minutes.
No.
Haha, our turn to DC, yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it won't turn up like last game. Quickly fix these problems.
Yay!
There goes. There goes Baby Trog. Turn on chat here. So I can... near me as well. Everyone just taking advantage of this pause, just leaving when they can.
Yeah.
Pretty lame. I don't know how you can have such bad connection problems.
That's a pretty good reason. I mean, people got children. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, it happens. It happens. Real life stuff, you know?
Yeah.
I wouldn't know. I sit at home on my computer all day.
Yeah, same here. Just lounge around in my underwear.
Mm-hmm. smartest way to do it.
And the Ender did pick up a sweeper right away.
Boom. See, that's what we're talking about. But the thing is, we see the Leona again with 3 biscuits. Like, I still, if this isn't gonna be a lane swap, I honestly think that Baby Trog and Ender are going to absolutely crush this bot lane. It's not even gonna be funny. Parabolas is just gonna come in, throw down a lot of early pressure because there's gonna be absolutely no wards for the bot lane, and that'll be it.
Yeah, for sure. And like the Jinx Thresh lane is just insane. If you can land a hook or a flay, Jinx can get an easy flame chompers and just follow up with tons of damage.
I like that all of Wings of Freedom is kind of just dancing around, but they don't even notice that their blue buff's about to get invaded.
Yeah, that'll actually really hurt Parabolo.
I think something that a lot of these teams can learn from both RDS and Jug is early wards. Early game wards are going to be a really big thing, and like it's okay to sacrifice maybe 2 potions on your jungler in order to get a ward. That's huge. That's huge for the early game, but you never know. It's all depends on the team's play style. So.
Yeah, all depends on how good you are at jungling too, because if you're a highly efficient jungler, then you can jungle on 3 pots instead of 5. But we'll have to see what they do here. Cat actually picked up Thorn's shield in the mid lane.
Yeah, it's a standard pickup, kind
Makes
of.
sense. I don't know.
It's actually going to be really funny how it turns out for Hilo, because really all that's going to happen is Hilo throws an auto attack at Ashwin. He kind of just gets his auto attack negated from the Doran shield, and then he takes damage from creeps at the same time. So.
Yeah.
On the bot lane, though,
hits level 2 first. Flash, both flash used. Barrier used also for Behemoth. Definitely did not need to use that one.
Yeah,
as you were already
really
full health.
Oh,
Boomerang Blade almost picking up Baby Trog right there. I feel like if
Right.
Fontic wants to do it, it's a little late now, but if he could have flash EQ'd onto Baby Trog just to pick up that kill.
Yeah.
Oh, and Harablo get some damage onto Shoddy Shinto. Not gonna quite push him out of lane yet, as he is a Garen, and he can lane pretty much forever.
Yeah, he's throwing down the pressure for sure. Usually you'd see the Vi coming out, though, a little bit earlier, like, instead of farming. And there's some pretty easy ganks to be done. There's no wards in bot lane. I could have just went from blue buff straight down to the tri-bush and easily gotten a kill there. But it looks like he's just going to come up to the top lane, come through the lane, and try and make something happen against Renekton.
For sure. And Vi ganks, most people, I see some people wait to 6 before they gank. There's real no point. If you max Vault Breaker and you can actually land that, it's pretty much like having your ultimate.
Yeah, and actually the top lane ward just went out. This is a really well-timed gank.
Oh, and the Ignite flash used by Furinus. First blood for the Muffin Surfers. Great pickup. Burning the flash.
Yeah, Pure Heat just does have quite an impact on the game. We really haven't seen Harablo do too much of this game. He did a little bit to the Garen top lane, but it's Garen. He's gonna regen it back. He sits at tower for like 30 seconds of his time, and he's full health already.
For sure. And like, Elise is one of those junglers where you can make a huge impact early. Same thing with Vi. Unlike with last game where Harablo was on Mundo, where you can't really make a huge difference. And Kha'Zix, that really depends on getting lots of kills, which he did do, so he could make that difference.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Both
Ashley.
mid laners are actually doing quite well here. 26 CS on Cat, looking 34 on or on Hilo, and like, it's a pretty even lane. And like Brand can't go even with Cat. Like late game, a Cat will win it out in damage. As long as she gets one reset there, she'll be good to go.
Yeah, it does look like we have a kind of a 3-man push coming out of Wings of Freedom onto this bot turret. Pure Hugeness is there to come back up. Is Baby Shark still gonna back? No, cancels the back. Pure Hugeness. Oh, great spell shield. Bravo does flash away. Flash out Fontic. Exhaust does go down. Stun comes out. Harablo will be going down. Going over to Behemoth there.
Yeah, and again, just another really, really well played gank. Like Wings of Freedom, if they're gonna shove down the tower, they should decisively shove down the tower. If not, just back off. It's not worth it to go for it with just 2 people and not have a guaranteed kill in the tower.
Yeah, like Harablo and Ender were at the tower while Baby Trog was back, trying to go back to the base.
Yeah, and Baby Trog being Jinx, it's probably not even gonna say probably. She is the strongest AD carry tower pusher in the game right now. Just what she can do with her Q is, it's unbelievable.
For sure. Definitely, maybe miscalculation or misplay coming out of Wings of Freedom there. To see what they do to recover. And Shaishinto is just really dictating the top lane at this point.
Yeah,
has a giant
no matter
spell.
how much you dislike it.
Yeah, it just has a giant spell over top, but Harablo is coming up from the back. See if they can get a kill.
I don't think they'll be able to do anything against this guy. He has Ghost up, 20 seconds on Ignite, and he'll just run away. Like,
Yeah.
He ran right into Harablo. He's gonna get, if he gets the Q off, he could have actually killed him there.
Yeah.
That would have been a free kill.
Q alt. Harablo is only level 4, so
Yeah.
that would have been easy pickup. Fontic going in there, getting some trading down onto Baby Trog.
Talon going in on him, but like, there's no reason to. You can't win the trade.
For sure.
It's not gonna happen. Not against a Garen. The day I see somebody beat a Garen in a trade, that'll be an interesting day.
Ender opens up, but they just don't even care. Just go straight on to Baby Shark. Behemoth did get exhausted and Flame Chomp zoned out, so they will not be able to pick up that kill there.
It was worth it though. It was definitely worth it. They blew the exhaust on Ender, and they blew the barrier on Baby Trog. So it was a really good.
Sullen Battery onto Hilo. Stun comes out onto Fusionist. Fusionist does take one last tower shot to go down. Will Ashwin be able to get the kill? No.
Ult was just off cooldown, but that's okay. That's free farm in mid lane. Rebel can't go back.
Yeah.
Rebel goes back and he will die. Gonna try and take the red buff here. Should be able to, but they're really far behind on Wings of Freedom, and they really need to figure out what they're gonna do.
Huge damage coming out of Baby Shark there. Flash used by Behemoth, but does get flayed backwards at the
Flashy
same time.
took both of them.
Yeah, they did both flash there, yeah.
Definitely a really well-timed flash by Baby Trog, but Behemoth needs to stop going so ham with its flash. It's really not helping the bot lane, and they can be way further ahead.
And Astro did flash there. Really to just poke down an Ender, who was planning on backing it anyways.
Yeah, the Muffin Steppers are a really aggressive team. Like, no matter what they do. Even last game we saw flashes trying to get over the wall even though they were ahead, and just like really aggressive plays that don't need to happen when you're already ahead. You should really take it more methodically and just kind of pace it out. But it's working for them, so I can't really say anything. I can't really argue with how they're playing out their strategy.
For sure. I feel like once Shadi Shinto's Ignite does come back up top lane, he can just straight up kill Talon at this point.
Oh yeah, but we do have Hilo coming up here, except Shadi Shinto has the... Oh, never mind. You went in with that instead of running away, so he should be dead here.
Oh, does cancel all. Does not go on cooldown and does go down over to Talon. Picks it up with Dominus there.
And I don't know if that was even the right kill trade-off. I think it would have been better to have it on Hilo, and so we can just further dominate this mid lane. I guess it's not even really dominating Katarina at all, but it would really get him to the point where he could dominate.
Oh, stun comes down on the Baby Shark box is used. Astron's coming down. Great. Leona ult just does get flayed out of ult, but the resets are there. Doesn't even matter. Easy pickup, 2 for nothing in the bot lane. And that does give them dragon control.
Yeah, and that's kind of something that we expect to see out of Katarina is a lot of roaming. Harabla tried to go on Ashwin here, but I don't think he's going to be able to get him. I don't think he just has the mobility.
Ward hops away. If the bot lane of the Muffin Stuffers did come up there to assist instead of going for this tower, they could have picked up 2 kills, possibly, as Assault and Battery was up. They could have picked up those 2 kills and then done Dragon and then got this bottom tower, rather than doing it like this.
Yeah, and really they shouldn't have stayed for the tower. They could have denied a bit more creeps there for Baby Trog and kind of force out their lead again more. That was another thing that I kind of really tried to focus on last game, was how TMS didn't really like to force out their lead. They did a really good job last game, but it wasn't really like, oh my god, they did so great. It was just an early game surrender, and like we could have seen that probably even stretched out to like a 40-minute game, because they didn't really try and force their objectives.
For sure. And it does look like Talon is going to go for Spirit Visage first, or maybe he just wanted to cool down early. But he did pick up a Kindle Gem pretty early.
Yeah, that's... I don't know why he would really want to build that into. It's definitely like a strong item for Renekton, because you always want your cooldowns. But it's not really a necessary item in a Garen lane. He could have used that money to say like a chain vest and some health potions, or even just like chain vest, health potions, and a ward. Could have been used in other manners.
For sure. Like, there's no real point to do a Spirit Visage rush against a Garen. He's all physical damage until he ults you. And then even then, ult is based off your percentage health. So if you have a bunch of armor so he can't get you low, you don't even have to worry about his ult. And Solar Flare does come out on the Baby Truck, gets flayed, but the stun does come out. Flash, Ball Breaker, oh, one last auto. Assault and Battery used on the Ender, looks like Power of Cocoon does miss. Death Sentence on the Baby Truck. Baby Truck is taking tower now. Parabola does manage to get sheer hugeness, and Baby Truck is way too low. Does go down to Parabola. Stun comes out on the Fontic. Pillar of Flame. Cocoon lands. Does look to be a pickup for Hilo at this point. Mistakenly burns Splash.
I've been talking about forcing the objective, but like, you can't go so ham. Like, you're not at the point where you're like 10k ahead and you can dive towers and easily get kills. You're a strong team, but it's not like your lead is that big right now. Definitely, like, it's a pretty even game still, just in terms of champions and how the lanes are playing out.
For sure. I think that was more due to the lack of vision.
Yeah.
Because Pure Heat just used his ult on Ender under the tower, because he assumed nobody would be following up.
Mm-hmm.
And Shai Shinto and Ashwin take on to Talon at the top lane.
There is a Super Mega Death Rocket coming out from top lane. But he misses. Just
barely misses. I'm actually not too sure if that would have got Shai Shinto.
No.
Because he has quite a bit of armor, still had quite a bit of health left. Oh, Solar Flare missing out of Fontic, but does EQ in. And they just want to look to disengage out of this. And top lane turret does go down in favor of TMS right there. Shai Shinto pushing pretty far out, a little cocky there.
Yeah, I think he's just gonna back off right here. Go back, grab a Sunfire.
And I honestly don't know what else he's going to build. I'm hoping it's either some long swords to build into a brutalizer or another giant spell.
Oh, great flay out of Ender there on the bot lane, just completely disarming that engagement.
Yeah, and if he wouldn't have gotten that playoff, he was definitely done. It was a life or death situation.
And the OGN ward is back. I'm not too sure when that was placed, but we can only assume that it's going to be up until like the 25-minute mark.
Yep. And it's a lot of free vision for a team.
Oh, for sure. Like, whenever I play mid lane or jungler and I roam through the river, I always check those bushes.
Yep. You never know what's in there.
He's taking a lot of damage. Fontic definitely caught out here. Cocoon does land.
Yeah.
Death Sentence lands. Great pick out of Wings of Freedom there.
I'm not sure what he was expecting to really get out of that. And now they left their bot lane alone for Jinx, which she's easily going to get the tower. And now there's a 3-man push going mid lane. So there's not really much that TMS can really do to stop the pressure that Wings of Freedom is throwing down. And it should have been the other way around in all reality. Like, TMS was up 5k gold at one point, and that leads taken down to 2.3k.
I feel at this point TMS needs to get a fight. They've been trying to pick on their lanes, and Harabo or Hilo have been roaming to go and help out all areas of the map.
Yeah, and that's all they need to do. As long as they keep forcing poor fights, or as long as TMS keeps on forcing poor fights, Wings of Freedom can easily just quickly react to it and come out ahead of TMS there.
And Dragon is up.
Yeah, it looks like they're probably just gonna rush us down. They have over enough damage.
Ward's going down. They do look to Leona ult misses. Cocoon does land on a hugeness, just quickly disengaging. Ender taking a lot of damage, however.
But this is again what I mean about forcing things
Oh,
out.
great death sentence on the few hugeness. Does manage to all on the baby shark, but does go down. Great pyroclasm. But the damage coming out of TMS there, just completely destroying. I do believe that was Ashwin with a bunch of resets. He was the last member. Does get silenced. Barrier does get popped and flash.
That was a really, really, really well-timed Shumpo by Ashwin there. He actually stopped the Q from Brand from going off onto Garen, and it actually saved his life.
Wow, and Fontic taking down Hilo right there. It's easy mid tower, but unfortunately they do have to back, so Wings of Freedom could easily rush Dragon at this point and just pick that up.
Yeah, and it's definitely interesting that they didn't decide to just rush the Dragon down, even with the Elise jungle down. But they're going to try and do the Dragon right now. It's really risky.
I do not like this call at all. Sure, Vi is... Oh, look at that minion on Baby Trog. Just determined. Yeah, they're just backing off. They know they have to give this up. Shadi Shinto just looking to get the timer there. We'll get a general idea. It looks like Wings of Freedom rotating bottom. Perhaps with the wards they have in sort of around TMS's side of the jungle, they may feel confident getting that bot tower, but
Actually, what I think they're trying to do here is they're actually going to try and pull off some pressure off Hilo, and Hilo's just going to shove up this top lane and try and push down the tower. Brand is definitely the best one on their team to actually just split push. He has huge wave clear, and like AP champions still do lots of damage to towers. It's not like they're super weak or anything. So I should be able to take down the stop tower here.
For sure. And looking at Vi's build here, should have really built the golem rather than the lizard.
Yeah, damage vibe falls off really hard, especially in the mid game point, which is about right now. So I don't know. I honestly don't know what to expect out of here. I think Wings of Freedom, if they get into just a straight on head to head fight, I think they can win this if they're actually positioned right as opposed to being on the ramp leading into Dragon.
For sure. The only thing that they have to look at, they will have to peel for Baby Trog, because pure hugeness building damage like that can easily just go on top and just destroy Baby Trog in a matter of moments.
Yeah. Well, it seems like they're focusing, like, they're trying to focus Baby Trog, they're trying to focus down Ender as well, but they're not really giving up too much gold right now, and, like, Hilo right now, in my opinion, is
great
the
solar
only one.
flare. Hilo does get this, he does not, Hilo did manage to get off his ult and a pretty good consecrate, but everybody on Wings of Freedom very low. Vontic does manage to go down. Wow, that tower dive was not a very good choice, as everybody on TMS just gets low, and the Get Excited will be enough. Zap does land for another Get Excite. Does look to be easy quadra kill for Baby Trog, but War Jump might be able to save his life here.
Yeah, well.
Zap misses.
See, again, this is what I mean. You can't keep trying to force objectives like this. It's not going to work out. It's going to throw your team behind, and it's really just showing that you're so cocky that you think you're going to win the fight, but you're not. Like, you're not really that far ahead. They're blinded by how much CS they're actually behind. It's not like they're behind a lot, but the fact that Hilo already has all the items he really needs. He has the Athenes and he has the Leandries. Both of those put him past the point where he can easily just throw in an ult to a team fight, and that's all he really needs to do. That ult literally did, I would say, over a quarter of everybody's health in that fight, and people really need to watch out for him. He's going to be the reason that this team really gets going on in team fights.
Oh, it does look like TMS are going to get Baron here. Not really that risky either, except that pure hugeness is just getting completely melted. Had no support from his teammates there.
And they're backing off of it now. They got it down about 3,000 health and backed right off. That was a bad call again, I think. I think they need to be really a lot more decisive with their calls if they're going to win this game, because last game it seemed like they were really decisive on what they were going to do. They were just going to go in and that's it. And this game, it's kind of half and half. It's like, should we go in, guys? Well, it's too late to really decide that now. Ashwin is really going to have to throw this game on his back and pull off some amazing cat mechanics, which we've seen this entire game. Like, he's done quite well.
Yeah, 505, definitely showing that off here. I feel like the last fight they had, after they took Hilo down, they should have just backed off and did Baron.
Yeah, they could have backed off, did Baron, they could have went bot lane, they could have done something other than kill themselves.
Yeah, there's no point to dive at that point.
Yeah,
like
Hilo.
Diving again. Ballbreaker to use on Hilo. Pure Hugeness does manage to get a lot of damage out and gets out. Ashwin does manage to get out, but the Behemoth did go down to Baby Trog. Hugeness actually took a lot of damage from Ender and Harabel at the back there. So that was 2 for 1. But everybody on TMS is pretty low, aside from Shadi Shinto. Love to see what they do here. If they can get a key stun out of Leona onto Baby Trog, Ashwin does have his ult up. He could go back in and nuke anybody at this point.
Yeah, but I think they're just going to go back, buy up, heal, and we have Dragon in 30 seconds. I think they actually did get a timer. Well, not necessarily got a timer on, but have a general consensus of when the dragon's going to be up. So hopefully we see TMS rushing over to it, and we can see a nice team fight here.
Alternatively, what TMS could do, they could be like, Dragon's up in a bit, we don't care, we're just going to do Baron instead while you do the Dragon.
No, they're picking up the dragon, though.
Shadi Shinto pretty far off here.
Yeah.
But Ender does get caught out. Wings of Freedom at this point do manage to get the dragon, but Diablo is going to go down as long as everyone sticks together. He's going to run right into Shadi Shinto. And Diablo will be going down here. There you go. And that's an easy mid tower at this point. 2 down, 4-0. I'm not even sure
No, that's
if the dragon.
Baron as well.
Yeah, for sure. I'm not even sure if the dragon was worth it at that point. You already lost Ender, and then you lost Diablo right after, just so you could get the dragon. You just lose complete Baron control with 2 members down.
Yeah, like you gained a little bit out of it. You gained a little bit of global gold. But what's the enemy team going to gain out of it? They're going to gain a hell of a lot more. And yeah, they have a Baron buff now. So.
Oh, and Ashwin goes in. Hilo did use his ult on Ashwin, and it didn't bounce to anybody. Oh, great. Assault and Battery on to Baby Trog, picking out Baby Trog Talon. Does go down. Hilo is actually going to be safe there.
That was a really good Vault Breaker into... Vault Breaker into Assault and Battery. He hit both of them with the Vault Breaker, and the Assault and Battery just did a little bit extra CC onto the Renekton. It really, they had no chance of saving anybody.
Sure, and this is going to be a free mid tower. They should definitely just back off of this at this point. They cannot really contest this, but they actually managed to hold it off. I feel like if TMS wanted to, they could have just dove in on those 3 and probably would have nuked them pretty fast.
4 members with Baron buff, tanky Garen, tanky Leona. Easily could have went for it, but they're finally going to play it methodically and kind of just play it out. Kind of take care of business, as I say.
For sure. And Ashwin is doing very well. 6-0-10 at this point. Deathcap and Zhonya's finished. I think that Blasting Wand will probably be going for a DFG.
Yeah, most likely.
Because at that point he could just DFG Hilo or anybody he really wanted to kill and just pretty much kill them. Like even Talon or Diablo. Does not matter.
Deathfire Grass doesn't build out a Blasting Wand.
You're right. Well,
it's probably going to be a Void Staff.
Yes, probably Void Staff then.
It could be a Void Staff or... No, it's a Void Staff.
Yeah.
Well, actually, it could be a Void Staff or it could be an Abyssal.
Yeah, I feel like it was probably going to be a Void Staff though, because then he has the option of going after the tankier people too, rather than just the squishier people.
Yeah, like he really has all the defense he needs with the Zhonyas. He's been really on point with the Zhonyas as well. Like as we saw in that last Baron fight, he crushed it. He went right on top of Hilo, kind of forced everybody away, burned the Brand ult, and
Assault Battery coming onto Baby Shark. Baby Shark just goes down. Ashwin does get Zhonya's off. Did not manage to ult. Ashwin does go down. Behemoth had to flash over the wall here. TMS in a bad spot, all on the wrong side of the wall, very low. Flash Hugeness looking to go huge and take down Diablo all by himself. Oh, Vault Breaker just missing. Hilo gets it with the auto. All in all, 3 for 2. And I think that's the problem with TMS's team comp here. It's either all in or nothing. They can't poke or anything.
Like, they went with a Vi who isn't tanky. Like this Vi gets melted by anybody. She has a little bit of MR, but really, it's a brand. any MR is going to be nothing to him. He burns you down with damage over time, burns you down with just consistent stuns, and at the same time is annoying as hell bouncing ult.
This is Face of the Mountain picked up by Fontic. If they actually had vision of the other members of Wings of Freedom, they would have known that that was basically a 3v2, and they could have just destroyed Hilo and just easily picked up Parabola right after.
Yeah, I mean, Fontic still has a pink ward available, and I'm not sure why he hasn't really placed it anywhere within the enemy team's jungle. They have a lot of map pressure right now, and there he finally placed it the red buff. Not even actually deep enough into the red buff to really
Side
get
seems to be going crazy on Hilo there. Does manage to take out the barrier on Hilo. Ashwin took lots of damage from that pillar of flame. Yeah, is good back here. Baron did get wiped on him, so does not have the regen. Actually, Baron would have fallen off by now anyways. Wow. That's poor place to back, right on top of that ward.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like they're just getting really cocky with this lead.
Yeah, and like, Wings of Freedom can easily turtle this out, as...
Oh, simply.
Because TMS has to all in every single time. They cannot siege towers at all. The wave clear coming out of Hilo, just too big. Whereas they don't really have...
Game. I mean, late game, you have to be scared of the Katarina ult. Like that's huge. That's gonna dumpster anybody. But the Brand ult is also pretty scary. He gets that off on. Well, if he gets that off on a Leona, gets that off on even the Vi, who's still stuck in the backline. Stuck on the backline, ulting onto the Jinx. You're kind of screwed. That is a lot of damage coming in. He lands a single pillar on top of that, and yeah, you literally are screwed. It's a 25% damage increase when you have the Blaze passive on top of somebody. So it's not going to be a good time if TMS decides to try and dive again, or even just have a poor engage again.
For sure. I'm not sure if you saw too much last fight under the tower. When Pure Hugeness ulted onto Baby Shark pretty much died instantly.
Yeah, he was done. But like, I'm not sure why they keep on focusing him. It's not like a Garen can't run in there and chase him away. They should really just hop on Hilo, get him down, back out, hop on Baby Trog, get him down, and just end everything else. They have perfect opportunity to. It's just they keep on going so deep that they really are just disabling themselves from actually doing it.
Oh, and Ashwin's not there for this fight. Box does go down. Oh, great Leona ult to hit two members. Great Pyroclasm coming out of Hilo. Assault Battery used on Harabla. Talon just going deep into the back line, getting sorted on right there. That was actually... Ashwin showed up later to that fight.
Yeah, that was a really good fight for Ashwin showing up so late. And like, if you didn't notice, Ashwin literally, as soon as she got to the fight, didn't really care about Brand, didn't really care about anybody. Just went straight on top of Big Truck.
For sure. And looks like they want a Baron here instead of getting the tower. I feel like they could have got the tower first and then Baroned.
So we should be able to get the tower itself, or not. Yeah, I mean...
Oh, and Ashwin. Oh, both skill shots. Same spot. Saw this coming. Ashwin just loves to back on top of wards here. And that's another Baron in favor of the Muffin Stuffers. Oh, wow. Not too sure if that was the greatest of ideas.
No, it wasn't a good trade.
You just got Baron back on you, and then you go and get rid of it.
Yeah, I just think the Muffin Stuffers are really cocky with this lead, and if they end up losing, I mean, we know why, but it's not like they have a pretty good stranglehold on the game.
And we are getting closer to that point where gold difference doesn't even matter. More and more people are getting closer to the 6 items. Usually around the 70k mark is where everyone has 6 items. So I feel if we do manage to get to that point, and Baby Trog or Hilo can pick up a GAs, then fights will definitely go farther into their favor.
Yeah, and actually we're seeing the... That was really weird, actually. Ashton just sold his Blasting Wand to grab the GA. I mean, good call, I guess. He got the blue elixir on top of that, but I don't know. He's gonna need the Blasting Wand in the end, anyways. So kind of just lost out on a little bit of money.
Yeah. Definitely no real reason to sell that if you're gonna need it anyways.
Yeah, like looking at the gold differences, he's actually behind Hilo right now, so it's not really helping his case at all.
And again, TMS trying to siege this tower. They do back off. Oh, and Baby Trog taking tons of damage from Vi alone. And Ashwin does manage to Zonius before his GAs gets popped. And they're very low. Harablo about half health. Sure, he just actually got a lot tankier. Fontic taking the tower, and that was just...
Shotty Shinto is in the back, and he's killing Hilo
He's
right
just
now.
completely cleaning up
Yeah.
TMS right there. This does look to be game at this point, as both GAs are up for both of the carries. Ashwin with that much health, it's scary, sure,
No, it doesn't really matter.
but it doesn't even really matter at this point.
Yeah, you get to pop, you get to pop. It's not really a big deal. I don't know. They really need to just start focusing objectives. That was a really easy mid tower. Like they didn't really need to wait on creeps. They could have just pushed it.
Yeah, they're like kind of split pushing the objectives. They're like, oh, let's get this Nexus tower. Oh, but we'll get the mid tower while you do that. They really should have all just grouped up and got the mid tower.
Garen has 234 armor. I'm pretty sure you can tank a tower really easily at this point.
Yeah, and with like that bottom wave is massive. If they just grouped up, got the mid tower, and then grouped up, got the bot tower, that'd be triple inhibs.
Yeah, they still have Baron buff. Ashman's the only one who doesn't. He has a GA out, not really a big deal. He only has about 10 seconds left on Zonia's. I mean, yeah, play it methodically, but when you have a stranglehold on the game, you might as well take it. But whatever, it doesn't really matter. They're in the lead right now. They have 13k gold lead, 5 towers ahead, 2 inhibitors ahead, and Dragon is up. So I'm imagining Pure Hughes is just going to go down there, take it himself, and then do a nice quick back. And actually, he just backed, so it's not really a big deal. He's not going to, nothing he can really grab.
Yeah, the only thing he's looking to finish here is Mob Malmortius.
Yeah, he has huge damage right now, but he's not really the tankiest of people, and if this does stretch out to endgame, he's going to get melted. Brand will melt him with his 3.5k health. It's something that you normally see Brands do, because his passive is dealing 8% of everybody's maximum health for 4 seconds. Along with that, you'll be getting your Leandri's procs every single time one of those procs go off. So it's just tons and tons and tons of percent health damage. And that's also coming out of Renekton's ult and Elise's Qs.
Solar Flare does land on Harablo. Harablo just pelts up. Ashwin getting full channel ult onto 2 or 3 members of Wings of Freedom Talon. It does go down. Hilo down. Baby Trog down. Just absolutely destroyed. That is the game right there. In game 2, we'll also be going to the Muffin Stuffers of the Saskatchewan Law League. Thank you so much for joining us for this, and we will see you all next time.
Later.